Hi, Jim Morgan. How
are you?
I'm very good.
You're looking at our Mufti wall.
I am looking at your Mufti wall.
100, well, almost 100 Muftis, because we're coming up, we're just in the middle of the
middle of the
so only up here are 97. But you know all that, because you know more about Muftis than almost anyone.
Very possibly.
Because what is your claim to fame?
My claim to fame is that I have done now 6% of the Muftis.
Wow!
If this is number 100, Saturday night, I have now officially done 6%.
And I think that's more than anyone.
I do believe so.
There's no actor that has done more shows than you have.
Right. The only person that has me is Michael Montel, who's directed 20.
Yeah,
but I'm hot on his trail.
Yeah. Where now are your shows around here?
Yes, I started in 2001, fall 2001.
Fall 2001
with The Good Companions. Which was by Andre Previn and Johnny Mercer.
And I want to do The Good Companions again. So you're
really
in good.
Am I old enough to play the Brian and Mary part yet?
We'll work on that. We'll anyway.
Well, we could do that as the number 200 because my hope is that I'm here 20 years from now to get.
You will be. You will be.
Number
I may not be, but you will be.
But then I did Cyrano, which I don't know if this is true or not, but I was told at the time that I was quite possibly the first actor who had done 2 leading roles in the same Mufti series.
I'm sure. Why would we lie?
That's true. But that was an honor that was just thrust upon me, and I another thing that sort of made me sort of fall in love with the Mufti series. I was like, I felt this simpatico with it. My next one was Oh Boy, a lot of the Muftis that I've done have sort of that old style, aw shucks, where let's put on a show kind of quality. Not all of them, but that's one of my favorite kind of genres. Or hey, let's put on a show, let's put something together. And Oh Boy sort of felt like that kind of genre. And as did the next one, which was Best Foot Forward. Maybe Best Foot Forward was a little bit more that way, but
they're even though I don't know, they're probably 15 or 20 years apart in terms of writing, but there's a similar style.
Boy, there was actually a line that went, "Oh boy, oh boy," And
my mom was up from Florida, and she saw that. She quoted that line for years as if it was the most brilliant line ever written, but she loved it.
I don't think I'm pretty certain I'm not the only one that feels this way, but I do know that I feel this way about the Muftis. Is there's this sort of reverence that I have for them, and I've mentioned a couple of reasons why, but that's another one. You present these shows sort of as a snapshot of what they were.
That's a perfect word. Oh,
thank you.
I say you say snapshot, I say quick sketch.
There you go.
Of what they either were or aspired to be or should have been.
Right.
And many of them got off track in their original production for one sad reason or another. Wrong director, wrong theater, wrong star, wrong any number of things, wrong physical production.
Right.
That's one of the things we find is that these shows work so much better on our essentially bare stage because it's totally about the material and the audience is supplying everything.
Okay, so now let's talk about the next one.
Yes.
And the next one, there seems to be a very large gap. The gap takes us all the way to, where is Old Coward? In the summer of 2011.
I love the story about you're getting a quick education in Coward by doing this show.
And luckily it was the other 2 actors, K.T. Sullivan and Peter Land, knew him very, very well. So they sort of put me on their shoulders and
well, knew his work. I don't know that either of them.
Oh, but they didn't know him very well.
Yes,
sorry.
Right. Yeah.
Forgive my wording.
You're aging them.
Yes. They went out with Coward all the time at parties. They knew his work very well, and so therefore they were. It was really a wonderful trio because they were like, okay, we can tell you anything you need to know, and we can maybe even learn from you with how you're approaching it, as a novice.
Yeah.
And that was really cool. It was a great treat. And then my last Mufti so far.
Don't say last. Yes. Most recent.
Most recent Mufti is the one we're working on now, which is Saturday night. You said earlier, by Sondheim. And I have to admit, This one I called and begged to do. I don't know if I should let that secret out, but I had understudied Saturday Night off Broadway when they did it at Second Stage in 2000. And I enjoyed that experience very, very much. I went on twice as the lead, Gene, and I also went on as one of the ensemble guys named Dino.
We're delighted to have you back.
Thank you.
In Mufti number 6, and we look forward to 6 and 12 and 18 more.
Me too.
It's great to chat with you and to
likewise.
have you on our stage, and everyone should come and see Jim Stanek and the rest of this wonderful cast in Saturday Night, which plays through this Sunday.